It's track reviews. Hey, hey, hi, how are you, everyone? Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. You know who it is. And it's time for a review, a track review of a brand new track from none other than singer-songwriter Will Toledo. In the ever-popular Car Seat Headrest project, lately Will has been on a creative roll, putting out that fantastic redo of his beloved Twin Fantasy record in 2018. Before that was his album Teens of Denial, which personally is my favorite Car Seat Headrest record, and I think Will is going to continue putting out some hot material going forward. Fingers crossed, because I do think he is one of the more exciting songwriters out there today. And I am going to talk about his newest song and single that has just dropped over here via Matador Records. I do want to give a shout out quickly to our sponsor in this video, the good people over at The Ridge. They make these awesome, nifty, metal-plated wallets that fit nicely in your front pocket. Replace your disgusting, bulky leather wallet today with this baby, and use promo code MELON when you hit the link down below to do that, and you will get 10% off. 10% off. All right. Can't Cool Me Down is the name of this new track. Let's see what Will has to offer on this one. Ba-bam. Okay, Can't Cool Me Down. Thoughts on that track? I have quite a few. Obviously, for Will, this song is a big instrumental and an aesthetic change. Not that Will hasn't used electronics and sequenced drums and things of that nature in the past, but this track is very consciously a hard transition in that direction. This is not the lo-fi brand of indie rock music that I think most people have come up appreciating about Car Seat Headrest sound. This is a bit more of an electronic direction with some obvious rock undertones coming from the bass lines, some of the guitar licks that pop up here and there, Will's vocal style, and just the general songwriting style too. So obviously there are a lot of characteristics of Will's creative process that with this instrumental shift have not changed. It still very much sounds like a Car Seat Headrest song, but it's a much more synth-heavy and sequenced drum-heavy experience, which I personally find to be a pretty tired cliche at this point, especially in the indie scene, for a popular songwriter to go through like an electronic phase or something. I'm wondering if we're going to hear an entire record that goes down this road, because, I mean, while I don't mind the tune of this track, and I do think it has its moments, aesthetically, it's pretty drab. The whole thing is super dry. The pacing is somewhat tedious too. It's just a 5-minute song, and I know Will has written much longer songs than this, but it felt much longer than that. Each new passage, while I guess everything flowed together pretty logically, nothing felt disconnected or random, wasn't really building up much in terms of momentum. The progress of this whole thing just felt really stiff and one-dimensional. Thinking of the track over once again, my mind does go back to some of the raw elements in the mix, especially some of the background vocals, which were very passionate, soulful, shouty, wild. Will was most definitely bringing some good earworms with some of the refrains here. Can't cool me down. But again, personally, I just found this drum machine synth bassline combo that much of the track rocks with to be a little too bare and bland and underwhelming. And not to say everything that Will does under the Car Seat Headrest name needs to be super lo-fi and scuzzy and noisy. I'm not against a sound or a song or a record with a higher fidelity, but if you're going to do that, make use of the higher fidelity by bringing some awesome layers and textures. I just don't personally see the point of leaving the song sounding so bare that there are portions of it that pretty much sound like they're an unfinished demo, like everything hasn't really been put onto the track yet to fill all of these gaps. One of the few moments on the track that really kind of wowed me sonically was around 2 minutes and 50 seconds, where we got this epic burst of synthesizers and background vocal harmonies, which was quite nice, but it was only one of a few moments on the track that really felt like a bit of a sonic rush. While I appreciate that Will might have been trying to put a bit more focus on his spoken word vocals and how understated his words were a lot of the time, I think there's a way to maintain that vibe while not also just leaving the track generally feeling so dry and so barren that it's just texturally and compositionally deficient. So those, I think, are generally my thoughts on the track. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I think it has potential, and while this is sort of a trope that I am a bit sick of from the 2000s in terms of, like, you know, the instrumental shift toward a more electronic aesthetic that's going on here, I'm open to it. You know, I guess it's been a while in the grander scheme of things. I think that's everything I have to say about the track, though. Let me know what your thoughts are on this one down in the comments below. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up, or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Car Seat Headrest, Can't Cool Me Down forever.